With the beginning of a new year in real life, a lot of us are setting up a new planner for the new year, and I thought maybe the dolls might need to get organized. So today we are making a planner. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this project is. All right, so this is another project that I have created a cutting file for you that is available as a free download via my blog post. The link to the blog post is in the description box below this video. There's a link in the blog that will lead you to a file that has a PDF, 3 PNGs, and a little notes page that gives you instructions for using the PNG files in your cutting machine. I used a Cricut and used the files to cut out these. So let's talk. This time there are 3 cutting files because I wanted you guys to be able to use fun, colorful paper for this one. This is going to be a planner. Planners are fun and colorful a lot of times. So what we have here, this sheet is the pages, is the sheet. I believe the PNG is probably titled Pages, and there will be a PDF for you guys that hand cut, and there'll also be 3 cutting pages in that. So this one is the interior pages of the notebook or the planner. I decided to go with 3 holes. They're a little larger, but that way they're a little easier to cut out. I believe a 1/16 inch hole punch will work for these if you're hand cutting them. Otherwise, you could just poke the holes out with a push pin, and that would be fine also. We're actually going to do that when we cover the cover with our tape. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I'm going to put those off. There are 12 interior pages. I found any more than 12 and it was just too thick. Now the middle section here, this is the inside of the planner. And the inside of the planner we have 4 tabbed dividers. And I'm not sure how well it's showing up on the camera, but there's actually 4 little tabs that are graduated down, one at the top, a little farther down, and at the bottom, just like on a real planner. Now, if you do have some pages that when you pull them off your cutting mat, the holes didn't pop out, just pop them out with a push pin. That works really well. I'll go back and do all the rest of those off camera. The other pieces on the green are the inside of the covers, and I'm actually going to turn one this way. Then we have the 3rd file, which is our cover. This is the outside of the page, and the planner, and this one, pick a pretty design or a pretty color that you really like, or you could do a black cover. So I know that these are punched, they just didn't pop out. This paper was a little bit harder for my machine to cut, so it gave me a little more trouble, because this one, I really like the design, but it has a little bit of glitter on it, so it didn't play well with the cutting blade. And my blade on my Cricut is really dull. That is something when I finally get out again after the absolute nasty cold weather we've had clears up a bit, I need to get to a craft store and get a new blade for my Cricut. This paper, just to show you, this is the small amount of design we're seeing, and that this was what the paper looked like to begin with. So it's a pretty small design. And I love how that turned out. I think it looks really cute. So the first thing we're going to do is glue these covers so that we've got an inside and an outside attached. I'm going to use something I never use. I'm going to use a glue stick. And I did find a glue stick in my drawer that had some glue. Hopefully this will stay together. We are going to coat this in packing tape, so that will help hold it together a little better. So this is really just to keep it together until we get it coated. Now line everything up so that you've got your holes need to be lined up. That's the most important part here. Line those holes up. And when you're cutting, be careful that I did orient these, so if there's a top and bottom of your paper, to your design, they will come out that way. All right. Now I'm going to let this glue stick dry for, probably 4 or 5 minutes, just so that it has a chance to cure before I cover it in plastic. So I'll be right back. All right, that glue's had time to dry, and now I have just some packing tape. I think this is pretty easy to find pretty much everywhere. So I am going to put the side with the holes this direction. You'll see why in a second. And I'm going to try and get them pretty straight across from each other. And I always just keep this on the tape so that I know where the end is. And I can go ahead and just let that fall over, and just in case, so you can always find the end of your tape. If you keep something on there, you'll always be able to find the end. Now, I've got this folded over. We've got tape on both sides. The reason I'm doing this is most of these planners have a laminated cover, and I was trying to think of how can we do a laminated cover that would be easy to do, would be inexpensive. I mean, you can buy packing tape like that, smaller rolls of that at the dollar store. So it's really inexpensive. I think a lot of us probably have that kind of tape. It's really handy to have. So I'm just running my thumbnail around the planner covers so that I get a good seal. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut fairly close to that, hopefully leaving just enough that the tape attaches to itself still, but close enough that I don't have a big piece of tape, you know, laying out there loose away from the planner. And I'm not going to worry about, well, there's quite a large piece, so I'll go ahead and cut that off too. If you get it right up against the fold on the tape, you don't have to trim that side. All right, now you need something you can work against. I've got this chunk of pool noodle. I find it really helpful for when I need to poke things. And I've just got that same push pin I had earlier, and I'm just clearing out that hole. All right, I am going to get my pages, make sure all the little pieces are out of the holes on the pages, and divide them into piles of 3, and then I'll be right back. All right, I've laid this out. I've got my tabs with the one at the top here going on down to the one at the bottom. I have my pages divided up in stacks of 3 pages in each stack. I tried making one of these with more pages, and it became too thick to look good. So you could add more pages, but be warned, it's going to make it really thick. And then I've got my covers the way I want to have them on the book. So I'm going to start stacking. I'm going to put, and it helps, you really need to have all your little holes punched out and have everything lined up as you go. It will make your job a lot easier. And go slow here. I'm going to, where's my, there we go. Kind of make sure I know where everything is. And now, making sure I'm getting everything lined up the way I want it. And it's a lot easier when you're not trying to do this on camera. I did one off camera to kind of figure out how to put this together and what I needed to do. And it was a lot easier when I could have it up closer to me. So you guys will have that advantage. Just remember, put a tab between each set of pages. Your back cover, make sure your covers have the pretty side out. And I like to line this up with my push pin. Excuse me. And then I've got a toothpick here also that I'm going to use in a second. And a binder clip. This is really important. You're going to need this because you're going to use that to really hold this together. Whoops, this shifted just a little bit. Hold it with your fingers as well as you can until you get the binder clip on. And I got these clips at Dollar Tree. They usually have them in their office supplies. Otherwise, you can get them at places like Walmart, Office Depot, Office Max. All those places have them. All right, I've got all my holes lined up now. Now, I tried several different ways of fastening this shut. I thought I had some, excuse me, I thought I had some jump rings in my jewelry making stuff, but I had an empty package instead of jump rings. So I started playing around with different things, and I had this embroidery floss. It's 3 strands of embroidery floss. I had it already on a needle on my desk. I was fixing something, and I discovered this worked really well. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue out on my tray, and I need a second toothpick. Now the first one of these is always the hardest. We're going to go through the hole with the needle. And I'm going to tie what's called a surgeon's knot, I believe, or a butcher's knot. It's like a square knot, but instead of just wrapping them once, you wrap twice on each layer. So you go through and then through again. I use the same knot when I'm doing a tied quilt. Now start pulling this down, and then take one of these toothpicks. Let's see if I can do this where you guys can see it. This is the hardest one of these because you've got to balance everything. Once you get started, it's easier. And sorry about that running around on the tray. But I want to work on my tray because if I drip glue, it won't get all over everything. Again, wrap twice. The idea of doing the double wrap on these knots is from what I understand, from what I've heard people say, it's because there's more friction, so the knot stays tighter. And then we're going to do a drop of glue besides when we're done here. So pull it tight. And we're going to trim our ends, but not really super close yet. Whoops. Hope if I actually cut it. Excuse me. All right. Now, go back. And now I'm going to do the other end. Sorry about that noise. I know it's probably annoying some of you, especially if you're wearing headphones. And this, again, it's a lot easier when you can get this picked up and not have it down on the tray for the camera to see. Oops, I didn't double wrap that, so I'm going to do an extra layer on this knot. Ah, come on. My under camera, kind of, sort of. Double wrap. And let's do that again, because the first layer I did not double wrap. And I want to make sure I have a really good knot, because when I get done, when the glue is dry, I'm going to cut the ends off right at the knot. So I want a really secure knot so that this planner can be displayed either open or closed on a table or a desk in the doll's house. Come on, come on. There we go. I'm going to do the last knot off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you where to put the glue. All right, we're going to leave the toothpick right in place, and I'm going to get some of this glue and put just right on that knot. Where's the knot? There it is. And kind of poke it in there so that it gets those gets that knot really secure. And the glue is staying mostly up on the top of the knot, but I kind of work it into the sides a little bit. And work it into both sides where the ends of the floss come out. Make sure you turn this around a couple of times so that it's not stuck. And then that glue needs to dry before we trim it. So I'm going to let that glue dry and then I'll be back. All right, my glue is dry, so I'm going to trim off all the extra strings. I'll just do the first probably 1 or 2 on camera, and then I'll probably turn it off so I can really concentrate. But just cut as close as you can to the knot. If you feel like you need to, you can always add more glue after you cut. This is one of those spots where you really can't get too much glue. It looks like my ends kind of fell down into the glue, and that's okay. I'll just trim them off. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to get this up where I can really see it. I'm going to get these knots trimmed, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how this looks, as well as the one I made as kind of a prototype. So I'll be right back. All right, here is the planner I made on camera, and you can see we've got pages, you've got the little tabs. I love how this turned out. You could even sit down and draw draw a calendar on these, make to-do lists in them. You could do all kinds of things in here. It would be a lot of fun. And here's the one I made off camera that I made earlier just to kind of see how this worked. And they both turned out really fun. Now, one thing about this is, since you were using cardstock on the back side, you actually could, for your decorative paper, use a lighter weight paper. Or you could design your own. You could paint something or draw something. So be sure and check the blog post. Not only will there be photos, hopefully some good close-up photos of the project, but also the link to download the pattern for this. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button, leave me a comment. What kinds of things would you like to see for your dollhouse? If you haven't subscribed and you like my content, I encourage you, hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.